Oklahoma has the largest Native American population in the United States and is home to 38 federally recognized tribes. In fact, according to the latest estimates from the U.S. Census Bureau, Native Americans make up nearly 9% of Oklahoma's population. Each tribe has its own governing body and determines tribal membership differently. But what they all share is a proud heritage that is still evolving today.
For 27 years, Oklahoma City has hosted the Red Earth Parade and Festival. It's a weekend event where Native Americans throughout North America gather to celebrate and share their culture, heritage, and pride.
Being a part of an Oklahoma tribe, we all pretty strong, stick together, pretty resilient. It's a real strong state for Native Americans, so real proud to be a part of that.
Norman Island is a full-blooded Native American, but blood is not always the determining factor in being a member of a tribe.
We have full-blood Cherokees today that only speak Cherokee that cannot be members of this tribe.
Bill John Baker is the principal chief of the Cherokee Nation, the largest tribe in the United States and headquartered in Tahlequah. He explains that to be a citizen of the Cherokee Nation, a person must have an ancestor on the Dawes Rolls. It was a census of Indians taken by the federal government in Indian Territory between the years of 1900 and 1907. Those Indians were members of what we call today the 5 civilized tribes. The Cherokee, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Creek, and Seminole tribes were removed from their prosperous land and lives in the southeastern part of the United States and placed in Indian Territory.
We had schools, we had plantations, we had stores, we had all these things, but yet we were still stripped of our land, stripped of our possessions, put in stockades, and marched through the dead of winter, where 25% of our population perished.
Today, the Cherokee Nation, as well as many other tribes in Oklahoma, are thriving. Casino gaming revenues have spawned Native American industries and businesses. George Tiger is the principal chief of the Muscogee Creek Nation.
We have a big impact on the economy. And here in Oklahoma, collectively, as tribes and as Native Americans, we provide a tremendous impact on the economy and the revenues that the state of Oklahoma operate with.
George Thurman is principal chief of the Sac and Fox Nation.
Each tribe is a different nation, sovereign nation. So each tribe has their own agendas, but Sac and Fox, we're moving forward with, I guess you might say, in the white man's world.
People are walking with a little extra light step in their walk, holding their heads a little bit higher.
But pride among Native Americans has not always been the case. In fact, some Native Americans remember not having a true identity for a portion of their lives. Wallace Coffey is chairman of the Comanche Nation in Oklahoma.
When I was in the second grade, I was classified as a Mongolian. That was the classification they placed upon me. In the sixth grade, I became a Caucasian. In junior high, there was no middle school back then, but in junior high, I was American Indian. Then in high school, I became a Native American. In college, I became an indigenous group. When I worked on my master's degree, I became a sovereign nation.
Coffey's tribal membership is determined by blood. Comanches require 1/8 blood quantum. According to historian and author Hannibal Johnson, each tribe has different avenues to citizenship.
Who is an Indian really turns on a combination of one of 3 dimensions, as I would call them. The political dimension, treaties and such, where Indians agreed to accept people as citizens. The cultural dimension, where Indians incorporated people into their various tribes because of cultural affinity, because the people were part of their traditions and rituals and so forth. And then the biological dimension, whereby Indians accept people as members of their tribe based on biology or blood quantum.
Being a tribal member has benefits which enrich lives. They have free health care, they're given hiring preferences for Native American jobs, the elderly and others in need are provided housing, and then there are the educational opportunities.
Last year, every Cherokee student that applied to go to college got a $2,000 a semester scholarship to go to the university of their choice.
Chief Baker says every month hundreds of people are successful in proving their Cherokee lineage who have never done so before. Gene Norris is the senior genealogist with the Cherokee Heritage Center.
In fact, I had a gentleman that came in this morning that had been here yesterday, and he descends from a group of Cherokee that were referred to as the Old Settlers, and he found his great-grandmother on the Dawes final roll.
For many Native Americans, knowing where they came from helps them define themselves today.
My ancestry goes back to one of these three chiefs that went to England 250 years ago to sign the first treaty that the Cherokees had with England. And so when you run my ancestry, it ties me to one of those three chiefs.
Chief Baker cherishes this picture of his grandmother because he doesn't have many photos of his ancestors.
They were some of the leaders of the tribe. However, her mother was orphaned. On the Trail of Tears. So we don't have a lot of family photos.
Baker and many other Native Americans believe it was the resiliency of their ancestors which brought the tribes to where they are today.
We literally started over again. But there's not a U.S. history book that tells the story of how bad it really was. Nobody ever wants to think that America did this or had a part in it.